Sorry, I caught my face. Yeah. Oh. Alright, looks like we're good. Welcome, everyone. Ewok Templar. Lawnmower Simulator. Settle in. Get comfortable. Just gonna feel like this is a good avenue of just sort of hanging out and talking, you know? Just talking it out. So we have the basic setup. This is Mission 2, or Contract 2, as the game says. We got a lot of responsibility going on around here. About 99% completion rate. Oh god, we're running out of time. First, let's clean up. Yes. Indubitably. Can I pick up the gazebo? It's in my way. Where's the last item? Oh, there you go. Alright, let's get on. Get. Okay. Started up the shields. Throttle engaged. I believe this was the same one as last time. 6 centimeters. Engaging blades. Alright, we can do our best not to damage the flowers this time. Although sometimes I think it's inevitable. We give the edge a slightly wider berth. Let it have its edgy moment. Let it have its moment in the spotlight before the deep plunge. But I was thinking today about all the work I've done out there in the real. How I got started, because last time I was talking about how every year I would have maybe $60 to $100 in that range after completing just chores. And that changed like right near the end of high school. Right near the end of high school I started taking odd jobs here and there, you know? One of the things that was probably the weirdest is I was kind of like a housekeeper for my friend's apartment for a little while, for a few months. That was okay. I think I did a good job. After a few months, though, they decided to stop, because like I was hanging out there every day and keeping the place pretty tight ship. But they just said that it was just weird. It just felt weird, so I was like, alright, whatever. That wasn't very interesting, because like it was the same thing as like me just hanging out with them, but I would make sure that the trash was taken out, the dishes were done, everything was organized. Not a big deal. Just the way it was. They said it was weird. And I said, weird for you. I was fine with it. I was making decent pocket change. Like, not a lot. No, like a couple of bucks. A couple of bucks every day. But it was enough for me to get along and hang out and everything was fine. Well, let's just go roundabout on this. Slice and dice this properly. Out and around. I did see in the inventory that eventually you do unlock a 0-point turn on devices. That's gonna be awesome when that happens. Alright, don't hit the flowers. But then, even before that, like right out of high school, I had like a lot of friends who were older than me by a little bit and younger than me by a little bit. And one thing that like started happening randomly was like every summer and every now and then during fall, I would get asked to help people move. And that's how I make a couple of bucks as well. That was alright. Remember this one friend, I helped him move like 3 separate times, and that's when I decided to start charging. Because she always paid us in like... She always paid us in pizza. And it was fine, but then after the 3rd time, I was like, alright, we're gonna have to start charging here. We're gonna have to start organizing things up a little bit. I'm lifting way too many heavy things way too often. You know, it's funny is that after I talked about that, that was the last time she asked me to help her move. Other people asked me though, but oddly enough, other people besides her at that point started asking me. Once I said I'm gonna charge a couple of bucks, I must have helped like 7 people move because they were like going to like slightly different places outside of their parents' home, not very far. I can't remember where the furthest one was. I won't say it was too far. It's definitely still in the area. But that's how I made a couple of bucks and started buying my games. That's how I had enough money to buy this first time when I bought the Skyrims. After that, I want to say around Fallout 4 time is when I already had like a job, like a proper job. It was a very crazy time. Very wild. When I finally got a job, I was about 23, like an actual legit job, like insurance and stuff. And I was just bagging groceries and pushing carts at the time. But it was enough for me to move out as well. Like after half a year, I was like, alright, you know what? Now's a good time. Move out. That was around the Fallout 4 time, I want to say. Right before Fallout 4 is when I first dipped my toes out there in the real world. I was responsible for myself and no one else. Had a lot of crazy guys out there. There was this one guy I remember who I ran into him until my last day when I was like manager. Like he was there all the freaking time. Not all the time, not like every day, but every couple of weeks. There was this older guy. He never wore a shirt. He was always in overalls. And he was a scrapper. And he kept on talking to me. I don't know why he kept on talking to me about it. I'd just be at the meat counter, just talking the meats, organizing them as well, making sure they were all rotated, dated properly, and anything that was like damaged or out of date was taken care of properly, whether it be marked down or thrown away, whatever it needs to happen, we get it done. But this guy, this older guy, never wore a shirt, so I could always see his nipples. And that's important to me, because I didn't like that. And I can remember his nipples better than I can remember his face. But I can remember his face too, and his hands. Because he always had a bunch of jewelry, a bunch of rings and stuff. And for some reason, he's always trying to talk me into scrapping too. And I was like, I got this job. He would talk about all the things he would find, all the expensive stuff he would find. Because he would go up to the rich folks' neighborhoods and just sort of go dumpster diving, but for metal stuff. And he would show me his rings and stuff, talking about how he found all of these scrapping. And he also had a bunch of chains too. So he was like a white old Mr. T, now that I think about it. The amount of stuff he had on him. I don't know if Mr. T, if any of you remember who Mr. T was. He was a character in the 70s and 80s. He was a character on the A-Team. That was a very popular show that he did. I think he just played himself. No, he played Baracus. But he dressed exactly the way he dressed normally. So, it was Mr. T, but they just called him Baracus on the show. And even though he, the exact same man. But that's the way this older white dude looked, the scrapper. He's like a white Mr. T, but instead of like, he didn't have the mohawk though. He had like a normal haircut underneath the baseball cap all the time. I wonder what happened to him, but still, I don't know why he kept on trying to talk to me into like, I should start scrapping. I was like, what is this? Like, I have no idea if he was... It didn't seem like he was hitting on me. I know the story may seem like have a flow to it. It makes it sound like maybe the old man was interested in me. I don't think it was that. I didn't feel that at all. Usually I can tell when someone's being flirtatious and are so inspecting me for duty, so to speak. I did not get those lusty vibes from this old man. He was not one of the lustiest boys, okay? He was just... I don't know, it was very weird. It's one of those people I remember just being like, yeah, I should start scrapping too. He was... I don't know why he's trying to sell me on the idea. That I need to go out there with a metal detector and dumpster dive and just find all the rich people's thrown away stuff. This is back in the day, not like a few years ago now. But even until last time I saw him, it was the same thing. You know, he'd go up there, he'd be diving, he could disengage the blades anytime. I wonder if that helps your cut. Also, I changed my sorry to change topics in the middle of here, but I changed my stick drift, so now it's easier for me to well, it was easier. That was weird. Okay. All right. With the stick drift situated, it's a little bit easier for me to get that to go off, is what I was trying to say. So, square business. Up here. Should I start up here? Should I start down there? Should I go around the gazebo first? I don't know. I got 2 trees in the gazebo. I want to do this little area up here first. Get it out of the way. It's too close to this little fence right here and these flowers. I don't want to risk damaging them. Get this knocked out. We'll cut it. We'll cut it at the tree. I don't know, that was just one of those weird characters I met. Might go back, think about him, just because I remember there's a couple of funny things that happened. But right now I cannot pin it. I cannot say for certain that it was him. But I'll organize my thoughts later on him, because had a bunch of rings, and I don't know why he's trying to sell me this idea that I should become like his... I don't know what it was. Not necessarily his protege, but like he was guiding me down the right path. Like scrapping was the way. Like he was an old Jedi, and scrapping was the pinnacle of my career decisions that I should make right now. It was very interesting because he was talking about how much money he made. I never like really engaged him, so to speak. Like I never like questioned him deeper. I never like asked him to explain too much about his scrapping gallivanting around. I never was like, well, how much like did you make in a year, or where's the best places, or like, what's the most expensive thing you ever found? I might have, but I might have just been talking just to talk to him while I was working, just to keep him yapping and half listening, so I could just keep on working without him bothering me even more. So, you know what I mean? Like I'm talking, but I'm not listening. I'm asking questions, but they did not stay to memory. The nipples stuck with me more, just because he was always wearing overalls. Even in winter when it was cold, he'd be in overalls with no shirt on. So his nipples would be right there by the straps, just challenging me, challenging my mind, challenging my peace. And he had a tan. He had like this. He had a deep tan too. It looked like he didn't have the overalls all the time, because there wasn't like a tan line at the overall point. The entire body was tan. So I imagine, I don't know if he would strip down when he would do dumpster dives looking for metal, but he was evenly tanned all over. His nipples, that's another thing that really freaked me out about his nipples. They were the exact same color as the rest of his skin. So it looked like low definition. It looked like PS1 graphics, is the way his nips were just sort of there. They were also small. You know what I mean? They were like the size of dimes. And the tips were even smaller. They were essentially mosquito bites. They were the exact same color of his brown all over. Maybe that's why they stuck with me over the years. More so than what we talked about. It was the nips. The nips stuck with me. I never enjoy people who don't wear shirts often. Okay, it's like, you have a shirt, and you're out here shopping in front of the meats and the vegetables. Call me old school, call me old style, but I think you should have a shirt on. I don't know if the overalls, like that strap was so there, you know what I mean? Because he was a man, he was an old man, so he was hairy too. So he had like what I have now. It really freaked me out. Is seeing my chest hairs, they went salt and pepper harder than everywhere else. Everywhere else is like a little gray here, a little gray there. My chest though is decided to age up. It looks, the chest hair, most of it's silver and white now. Like, that's weird. I got like, it's like a tuxedo cat, you know, if everything else is dark and black, now they got like that chest spot, like that's what I got. I don't know how that happened. Science, right? Another weird thing about my hair is that my nose hair grows the fastest. I don't know what's up with that. Like, whenever women talk about wanting to be a man, I just tell them, I'm not sure. I'm not sure you want to go off with this trade-off, because my nose hairs, I trim them every, like, 2 to 3 days. Like, no lie, no cap, no 6'7", I don't know how it goes. But my nose hairs return with a fury, the fastest. Thick, pubis, and binding. Like just a thicket of madness shooting out of each of my nostrils that I gotta handle. I gotta handle it quite often. Maybe not that often, but I trim them at least once a week. Like I'll sneeze, or I'll blow my nose, and all of a sudden just whoosh. I have this forest sticking out about like a centimeter. And I cut it all down. I burn the forest down. And yet somehow, in a couple of days, not that long, I'm telling you, it's like the fastest growing hair I've ever seen. If people were setting world records, this is a record holder. This hair, I sneeze, I blow my nose, it comes back and it shoots out like, ah. I have to take it down. It's a challenge. Because it's also sensitive. I have it here, I have this one. This one's made of brass. I don't know if you can see that. You shove it, you clean it, you shove it in there, and it does like a spin motion chop. Got these blades that go like this against this outer blades that like are fixed like that. Oh, what the? Lawnmower Simulator had stutter. Did you see that? Even Lawnmower Simulator is disturbed by my nose hair tails. Hopefully I'm not butchering these flowers. I noticed I started paying attention for a second and started talking about what it means to be a man. The full responsibility. must stay focused, ladies and gentlemen. We must stay focused. Yeah, a lot of interesting folk. One time I met a stereotype and it disturbed me. It still disturbs me, because I'm not sure if he was messing with me, if he was testing me, because the way he said it so confidently, it sounded like he was telling the truth. I was getting my oil changed one time, and the cashier who was handling my business, he was also one of the mechanics. I don't know why. I didn't ask him. Like, I wasn't prying. I wasn't, like, trying to get to know him better. At all. I was just paying for my oil change. And he just started talking about taxes and stuff. For some reason. He was like, yeah, man, I can't wait for my taxes to come in, man. I need that money. And I was like, I hear you, man. And then out of nowhere, like, I did not elevate this at all. There was no accelerationism from me. There was no question at all. I did not prompt him to say this to me. But he straight looks me in the eye and says, I'm even thinking about having a couple of kids and not even just taking care of them, just having them so that my taxes look better. I'm like, what? Like, I did my best not to have a reaction because, like he was black and he was saying this straight to my face. And I'm like, what? Like, I had to get the hell out of there, dude. I had to get the hell out of there. I never saw him again, strangely enough, even though I went back to that place. I'm stuttering again. What the? Can my system not handle the beauty of Lawnmower Simulator? I have to turn down the graphics. Even though I'm not doing anything else. I could double check, see if my security software is updating again. But he just said that to me out of nowhere. And I was like, I don't remember what I said. I was so taken back. I might have said, yeah, me too. Like, I have no idea. I can't remember what I said after that. I just remember he said that to me, then a wave of emotions flew over me. Like, what? Why would you say that? You're supposed to take care of your kids. What, for taxes? How much money do you think you're gonna get? Like all kinds of thoughts popped into my head. And I was like, I just remember leaving after that. I remember him saying that, and I remember somehow being in my car leaving, and I'm just like, did that just happen? Was he real? Did I make that up? Did my mind have like a... Did I disassociate so hard that my mind invented something incredibly racist and stereotype just to do it? It bewilders and confuses me to this day because I cannot tell now. I'm pretty sure that is what is said. Also, as you can see, I am not black. And he just volunteered this information to me. And I really wanted to say, nah, man, you shouldn't do that. You should take care of your kids. But also, after he said that, I wanted to get the hell out of there. I was like, what the fuck's happening? What? It's like... I don't even know what to compare it to. Would it be like a white guy running up to black people and saying, no, you're wrong, mayonnaise is spicy enough? Like, what is... I don't even know what to compare it to or what to hold it to. Like, what if an Indian dude ran up to me and just like, not only do I not shower, I also think pictures of white women's feet is the most beautiful thing to see. Like, what would I say to him? What would I say to him? What am I supposed to say? He comes at me with that angle. I don't feel that. But I hear and see the stories that the people like to tell. And I say to myself, that can't, you know, I'm never one to be like, that's... Now that I've heard that, that's all of them. That's all of them now. That's all... That stereotype I heard. You know what I mean? That's like an Asian woman running up to me and saying she refuses to learn how to drive out of spite. Like, what? I still remember it, though. I still have a very emotional time for me. He told me that. I'm not sure if it was true or not. All I knew is my alarm bells rang. I said, it was one of those things where no matter what I said, I felt like I would just be, the tables would turn on me kind of feeling. I had to get out of it. I had to get the hell out of there. I think about that story and I still feel like leaving places. I could be in the grocery store, just looking at the different ramens, and I'll remember that guy telling me I should just have some kids so I can get my taxes. I don't even have to take care of them just for those taxes. You know what I'm saying? Like he was trying to relate to me about it. Like he looked at me, and said, "Now here's a guy who has kids but doesn't take care of them." You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the part that offended me the most. Is that a look? Do I have that look? Someone be honest with me. Because I didn't look much different back then. Like, maybe my beard was a little more well kept. You know what I mean? Like, I probably trimmed this little area between the beard and the mustache. And my beard was probably actually, honestly, it was probably a little bit longer than this. Probably down here. Like a real, like this is like an Abraham. This is a little bit longer than an Abraham, right? Maybe twice as long. This is a little bit twice as long as a Lincoln. I might have been down here, like around the bassist of a metal band, you know what I mean? Like right around that area. You know what I mean? Not like crazy, but maybe one more inch right here on the bottom. This side, the sides are probably still trimmed up like this. But I definitely had a gap between the mustache and the beard, because like while I was working, I just really like to have the mustache off of my lips, not just for soups and sandwiches, but just because I felt like it was a better look. Nowadays, it's still a problem, but now I just brush it to the side for now. I prefer to have it cut. I just get lazy and forget. Because I will be having sandwiches and eating soup, and all of a sudden this thing is acting like the baleen of a well and filtering out like the carrots and the noodles. And if I'm having a sandwich, it's even worse, because then like my mustache baleen's getting pushed into my mouth, and I gotta like move my lips around to scoot all the hair out. But yeah, that's science right there, man. That's high science. That's highfalutin. What if that guy remembers me? Because I really want to ask him, why'd you tell me that? It didn't ruin my day, but it disturbed me. It made me want to come back and start a riot. Like, I wanted to talk to whoever was dating you at the time and be like, do not let this man stick it in you anymore. He is a lunatic. He is a raving lunatic. He's gonna get you pregnant, have them kids, collect that tax money, and then just stare at them while he thinks about other tax schemes that he can get involved in. Be honest with me though. Do I look like someone who has kids and doesn't take care of them? Like, what does that look? How does that look on Hispanic man? Is it because of the beard? Like, I don't know. I always thought the beard was just Grizzly Adamsly, or just, I don't know, unkempt. Slightly hobo-ish, but still, like, well kept enough to where, like, it has edges, it has corners, you know what I mean? It's not just the way it was in high school to where I was, like, going for a full-blown wizard. I don't know, man, that one sticks with me. That one sticks with me. I met this guy, he, like, confessed to being a stereotype out of nowhere. I'm not gonna take care of my kids, I'm just gonna collect that tax money, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shut it down. Shut everything down. This entire Pennzoil needs to go back to the factory. Shut it the hell down. Alright, we're pretty close. Looking pretty good, honestly. I'm gonna try to keep the lines even. I'm gonna come up here and get on these lines up here so that my lines look better. My lines stay looking good. There's a lot of birds. Look at all those shadows. Is Alfred Hitchcock around? Is it about to go down? That was weird. Eagle Vision. You know what's crazy? But this one's bigger and this one's like contract 2, but I think we did this better and faster. I want to get more, but at the same time I really don't want to hit these flowers, man. I gotta take responsibility of these edges, man. What I'm talking about, man, you guys gotta take responsibility for what you did. What you're doing. It's wrong. You gotta do the right thing. Like I'm doing. Maybe I'm not doing the best, maybe I'm not doing the most. But I'm doing. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not belittling anyone. I'm just referencing. I just make little references here and there. I'm just trying to have a good time. There's a difference between a tiny joke and then trying to literally tear a person down for no reason. It ain't about that. Listen, if I've hurt you in any way, somehow, come talk to me. Tell me what I did. What I did wrong. How can we correct it? To be honest, from my perspective, I've done so little wrong, it's crazy how people want to act and treat me certain ways. So if I did something wrong, how come it's so hard to prove it to me? Wouldn't it be the easiest person to prove that I did something wrong? Wouldn't it be super easy to show and explain what I did to me, so we can rectify? Like, I don't know what's going on, man. But, you know, I'm gonna try to just be a good friend and family member and be there for them, more so than they are for me, because they're on this weird tangent and they don't want to explain themselves. And it's like, listen, if that's what you need to do to make yourself feel better, then whatever. I don't know what that childish behavior is about, but I'm just gonna give it space and let it breathe. Because it's not helping me, it's not helping you, and I don't have time. If that's what you want to do, that's what you do with your time in your life, then that's what you want to do. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't want to get it, you know what I mean? I gotta take responsibility for me and get what I need to get done. Not on anyone else's watch, but in a timely and concise manner. Honest and responsible. Kind of like the way I'm doing these edges right now. With integrity and dignity. Grace and poise. That flower, that's gonna be like $2 right there. This is what I'm talking about. Some of this grass, like, there's no way to get my other hand down there and move the flower out of the way. It's alright, we'll take it easy. Good clean burning lawn, I tell you what. There's a lot of birds out though. Kind of freaking me out. Honestly, graphics wise, it is pretty nice. So you get super close to the plants and they look very Fallout-y and Skyrim-y. You know what I mean? Just a couple of images jabbed in there. It looks fine. It does the job. It does the job. The grass is what's most impressive. That is just grass, man. That is legit grass. Turn up the difficulty by lowering the graphics and settings in the grass to make sure you can't see it. Visigrass. Sneaks up on you. Same way you gotta sneak up on it. It's a trade-off. Oh yeah. Here we go. Oh, we're close. We are on the edge. We're seeping in the skin of reality. I hit the bush. Oh. Did the bushes count as bad? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out if hitting the bushes count as a problem. The flowers, you know that. Remember that from last time. There's something therapeutic about this. Takes me back. I can almost feel the sun against my neck. The Pharmatan slowly developing. These are some good times. Weird good time though. You know what I mean? When you get that good workout in. After a big summer sweat out there in the heat, Like, that's the best water you will ever taste. When you get a cold glass of water after being out there. What's up with that? How do you make water taste better? How's the brain trick you like that? I was like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the miracle juice right there. Oh, the contract's been complete. I was just... You know what? I just want to get it done right. I just want to add my signature to it. My quality. You know what I mean? Get this edge. Get this edge. I'm feeling some vibration, so we're getting something. Place that trimmer away. And let's move on. We got that done faster. I'm proud of us. They should do the time-lapse thing. You know what I mean? They should do the thing where, like, it actually shows you, like, really quickly go around and, like, do the whole yard real fast. And then you come back. And that'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty legit. This is some advanced science right here. Look at that. You actually got the lawn lines. Can you imagine, like, the later, maybe, like, GTA will have this? Do you think? They'll have it to where you can do your own lawn, get some lawn care done. Get a real life. You gotta get that. One day it's gonna happen. It's gonna be crazy when you have the GTA and you have the sim game and they just, like, you know what I mean? What was that other game called? A Second Life? I don't know if that ever did more. Was it good? People like that? It was like The Sims, right? You play as one person and you give them like a job and stuff and you actually like explored the world, the real world. I don't know. I heard about it. Never interested me. But I'll be back tonight. I'm gonna leave this one here. I could start a second contract, but we're definitely not gonna get it done in 20 minutes. So we'll just cut this one here. If I get one done in like 30 minutes, I'll gladly start a second contract. If I can start popping them out, shooting them out, dual wielding contracts, I'll do it. But I think I'll leave this here. I think I'll be back tonight at some point. In a couple hours or maybe an hour. I'm going to eat dinner. And then I guess we'll clean up, what's it called? The Dark Side Detective. But I'm going to leave this one here for now. Thank you all who came out tonight to watch. Thank you all future people come back to watch these old episodes. Please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that like button. Keep on posting. See you in the next one. You all have a good night.